close your eyes and relax. In the shadows, things are hiding that are better left unseen. Tonight I'll tell you a story that will take you to a place where reality and fear intertwine. But before we begin, make sure no one is watching. And if you like what you hear, don't forget to give a like. It helps me keep creating new dark tales for you. Leave a comment telling us where you're listening from and which story has been the scariest for you. And now, let's begin. I sat on the edge of the bed, leaning against the armrest of the old chair. The motel was quiet, almost eerily still, with only the faint hum of the air conditioner breaking the silence. The soft light of the lamp illuminated the worn carpet, which had once been red but now resembled a dull, dirty orange. The walls of the bathroom were streaked with stains, and the mirror, with its cracked edges, reflected only my tired face. I turned off the TV, which had long stopped playing anything interesting, and pulled a cigarette from my pocket, lighting it slowly. The window was slightly open, but outside was nothing but the empty night. Only the light from a street lamp brushed against the edge of the glass. The room smelled of old wood, a mixture of dust and cheap air freshener. I exhaled the smoke, letting it fill the air, clouding my thoughts. I never knew what else to look for here. Loneliness had become a habit, and in these moments I didn't even think about how long it had been since anyone had been around. Time seemed to stand still in this place. I got up, walked over to the table, and opened my laptop. For a few seconds, the black screen flickered before lighting up with a dim glow. A couple of unread emails, a few websites I'd opened hours ago and forgotten about. I closed the laptop and returned to the chair, staring into the void as if through the window. Nothing more was needed. Everything felt so familiar. This day, this motel, the smell of cheap furniture. I couldn't even tell what kept me here. Just an old habit, going wherever my eyes led me, looking for something that might distract me, and then losing it again, sinking deeper into emptiness each time. I was about to light another cigarette when I heard a faint sound, a soft tapping that seemed to come from somewhere beyond the wall. At first, I dismissed it, probably just the wind or the old pipes groaning. But then it came again, a little louder this time, almost rhythmic. I glanced at the clock. It was just past 2 in the morning. Who would be up at this hour, making noise in a place like this? I shrugged it off and took a drag, focusing on the faint glow of the street lamp through the window. The tapping stopped for a moment, but then it came back, a little more insistent. It was odd, sure, but not enough to make me feel uneasy. I stood up and walked over to the wall, pressing my ear against it. Silence. Maybe it was the neighbors, or maybe the old building just had a way of making strange sounds. I returned to the chair and sat down, but as I settled in, I noticed something strange on the table. My phone was buzzing, though I hadn't touched it. I glanced at the screen. No new notifications. The buzz came again. I picked it up, wondering if it was some glitch, and glanced at the display. Nothing had changed. The screen was blank except for the time, and yet I could still feel the phone vibrating, just enough to be noticeable. Another buzz, and this time I noticed the small dot on the corner of the screen, the little notification indicator, but it wasn't supposed to be there. I tapped the screen, expecting it to clear, but it stayed, as if something invisible was stuck behind it. I turned the phone off and on again, but the indicator was still there. It was a glitch, I told myself. Maybe the battery was running low, or some app was acting up. I put the phone down and leaned back, exhaling a cloud of smoke. The room felt a bit colder now, though I couldn't place why. I didn't feel threatened, just mildly curious. The tapping had stopped, and the phone seemed to have stopped vibrating. Everything was back to normal. I tried to shake off the momentary oddity and focused on the low hum of the air conditioner once more. It was just one of those things. But I couldn't help but wonder, how long had the buzzing gone on before I'd noticed? I tried to shake off the strange feeling, but it kept creeping back. As I reached for my cigarette pack again, I noticed something odd. The name on the label was wrong. It wasn't the usual brand, not the one I always bought. I stared at the box for a moment, squinting. Marlboro. Or at least, that's what it should have said. But instead, there was a different name, something unfamiliar, something that didn't make sense. My fingers felt a coldness when I touched it, as if it weren't really there. I shook my head, trying to dismiss the thought, but my heart was starting to race. I'd seen that pack a dozen times before. Why would it change?